Kitchen. Today we're celebrating New Year's with a kind of a soul food New Year's food. Prior to the break we made collard greens, traditional collard greens. Instead of using pork, we seasoned them today with turkey wings. Right now what we're going to start doing is making black-eyed peas. And we have Sheila starting that process already.
Or Hoppin' Johns, you know, when you add it with rice. So we're making black-eyed peas today. So our guests, RJ, Victor, we had some dried beans from the supermarket. We spread them out. So the first thing you want to do when you're preparing beans is pick out the bad beans. So the bad beans are beans that look like this. You know, they look funny.
Now you don't have to obsess over picking out the beans. This is something Sheila and I have been going back on, what the beans should look like. We want to make sure you're not eating any rocks.
The baddest beans. So guys, just pick out the ones that are obviously messed up. Okay? As you see RJ and Victor are picking out our beans. Very good. Okay, so that's good. So again, like Maika said, we don't have to obsess over our beans. So now the next thing you do, okay, here we go, watch out boys, is we're going to use, now this is a pretty cool trick, which is to use a baking pan to spread your beans out to sort them. So the next thing you do, we're going to try another really cool trick, the funnel.
There you go.
Is you put them in a bowl of cold water and you wash your beans. So look how you do this, it's really easy. Just go like this. And watch the starch. So Victor, you take a turn, and then Victor, you take a turn, and RJ, you take a turn. Just rub them too.
Whoa!
That's okay. And when you wash your beans, you want to just pull up your little sleeves. It's okay. Okay, so rub the beans together. We're trying to get the starch off of the beans. And go ahead, RJ, you take a turn now. The thing that's really great about cooking beans is there's a lot of tasks that your kids can do, from sorting the beans to washing the beans
to measuring the water.
Okay, good. So go ahead and scrub our beans. Okay, so now the bean scrub is done. So what you do, Mike, give them some towels.
There you go. Drying off their hands.
Pour the water out.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about what you would normally do.
Okay, what are some things we would normally do, Sheila?
What you would normally do, now this is just a very quick version and there's not enough water in here, but normally you would fill this up with water, about 6 cups of water, let the beans soak overnight so that they swell up and look like those.
Now, there's another method you could use, is you could cook them for maybe about an hour until they're tender. So whichever you have time for, or, you know, whatever works for you.
Right, absolutely. So after you have your beans soaked overnight, you pretty much have your choice beans and you're going to get ready to cook them. So there's some other things that we're going to suggest that you add to your black-eyed pea recipe. We have onion and peppers. Again, just like greens, it's what you like, it's what your family likes that is the most important.
Right.
So while I start chopping up our onions, RJ and Victor are going to start working on our other good luck food, which is cornbread. Now, Micah, you want to get them started?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Well, during the break, what Victor and RJ did so nicely for us is they measured out all of our ingredients. And I'm going to have them pour in the dry ingredients first and see if they remember what they measured out. So Victor, can you talk to me about what the first ingredients is? Remember that?
This is called cornmeal.
Excellent. Okay, so you're going to put that in the bowl. RJ, do you want to put this in? Do you know what that is?
Sugar.
Okay, cook. Can you step this way and pour that in the bowl for me, sweetie?
Now, Maika, what cornbread, you know, is considered a good luck food because it resembles gold. And so it's like you have stacks of gold to bring your New Year's in. So that's why cornbread is one of our traditional good luck foods.
One of the nice things is that you can do different things with your cornbread. So for instance, Sheila and I are using butter as our fat today. You can use oil if you want. So the first thing that you do is you put your dry ingredients in the bowl. And I'm just quickly here mixing the dry ingredients together. One thing that we added that I didn't mention was baking powder. And then I'm going to make a well. And into the well, you put your wet ingredients, which includes, what is this?
Milk.
Awesome. Okay. What is this? Melted
Butter.
Right. And we have one last wet ingredient. It is what?
Eggs.
Okay,
Wrong.
excellent. Now, what's the problem with cooking with eggs? What can happen?
If you forget to cook them, and you eat them, you could get sick.
Okay, so what we're trying to stress with the kids today is the importance of food safety and using
Ew.
raw eggs and accidentally touching the raw eggs. So we have this pretty much mixed up right here. Look at the cornbread. And you don't have to mix, you don't want to mix it up a lot. This is pretty good. One last thing we're going to do is then butter this dish. Now, Sheila, why did we choose cornbread today as one of our side dishes?
Well, kind of as I was mentioning, cornbread symbolizes gold. We also chose collard greens because collard greens symbolizes money.
Everyone wants money, right?
And our black-eyed peas symbolize good luck. Now, one of the things that's really interesting about New Year's foods is that this is kind of an international phenomenon.
Okay.
International phenomenon. Now, these are some of the foods we eat here in the States. But if you go to Asian countries, noodles are a good luck food, and that's only contingent on if you don't break the noodle. So a long noodle that's not broken will give you good long luck. There's other things actually that are considered good luck foods that are interesting even here in the U.S. Pork is considered a good luck food. Now, a bad luck food that everyone should avoid on New Year's is lobster. And that's because lobsters crawl backwards. So the legend says if you eat lobster, you'll be focused on things in your past. And New Year's is all about the future. So, Micah, that looks great. You have made the cornbread. You greased the pan so that way the bread doesn't stick. We're going to put that in the oven for about 350 degrees. It's going to need to cook for about 25 minutes. We're also going to add our beans, our onions, our peppers to a pot as soon as I finish chopping. We have turkey, smoked turkey, that's also going to go in our pot. We're going to simmer our beans for about 2 hours, and they're going to get really nice, tender, and tasty. And then when we come back, we'll put rice together with our beans. We'll get to taste our cornbread, and we'll get to eat our greens. So we got a lot of good tasting to do.
We have a lot of great stuff. Our collard greens are looking really great. They smell really good. If you could be here, just the aroma of the greens, you can smell, you can almost taste them. I'm going to put this in the oven and we'll be right back.
Listen up,